Welcome to a short walkthrough of Power BI Desktop, which is a free client that allows for direct mashups of different types of local data sets, kind of as an advanced edition of Excel, and really allows for a lot more deep diving into specific both NoSQL, Hadoop, and of course relational data sources. This demo will focus basically around a CSV import of stock data and then doing a basic R analytical display using ggplot. Which is purchased by Microsoft. It is an open source project, but Revolution Analytics was recently purchased, and this has allowed for a lot of deep R integration into this product now and into the near future. So getting started right away, let's go ahead and snag this stock data. It's in Excel, but we can also drag CSV in there or JSON if it was provided. One key feature about this specific tool is that it has a nice ability to actually remember and allow for editing inside the pane of a preview, for example. Something you really can't do with a lot of these data discovery tools. So for example, I don't like the fact that I have 17 rows of basically not important grid level data information. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to step in and I'm only going to keep the first, after the first 17 rows. So just go in here and I type 17. You can see here now it looks very nice. And now I'm gonna, I want to actually have this first row go up to the top. So first row as headers. It's really nice. Now we've swapped in this data here, and actually we don't really need this information, so we're going to remove this. Very nice, relatively Excel style. If I want to add new, you can also go into a query mode and actually add new columns and manipulate them. You can also edit your own data. If I wanted to choose specific columns, it just displays right here. And it's a rich search as well. I also want to note that the changes that we've made regarding this specific CSV, and this also applies to pulling data from the web or pulling data from a specific database or what have you, the actual movements here to actually restrict the specific rows or enforce any type of the top or the bottom row predicates, that persists no matter if you get new data inside of there and you need to say refresh the preview example, for example, or doing a full refresh. Okay, that's a critical thing that's actually very fantastic, okay, because you don't have to come back in and you can automate this task as long as that task ends up in a file system with the same name. That's one thing I definitely wanted to note. On that note, you can just close and apply, and now it's going to populate this specific query and follow-up data set on the right-hand side of the panel here. You're also going to notice we have the data grid and the ER diagram relationship panel. And designing these visualizations is extremely straightforward. You simply have to select the specific stocks that you happen to be interested in, and you can see the panel's already building it out. One thing to note here is that it follows a quasi first in, first out build out as far as like the display goes. So I'm going to start with year. I'm going to hit stocks and S&P 500. And this is nice, but here's a really unique feature again in Power BI. I touched on this a little bit earlier, is actually going in and pulling specific data from the web and how easy that is. This is kind of another interesting feature. So what if I don't want to actually make an FTP job to come and pull this file down from whatever web resource? I'm actually going to go to stern.nyu, that's the NYU Business School, I believe, where they've actually hosted this data and ultimately where I downloaded it from. But I want to automate this process, and I don't want to have to go and make expensive data transfer tasks that occur and can kind of double the overhead on keeping this task up to date. So now I've just pulled it directly from the internet. Here we go. And I'm not done yet. I need to go and follow the same steps that I did with my CSV flat file. In which case, I'm going to go in, do some small editing on the top level section and potentially the bottom level section, and then go ahead and save it. So here we see we can actually just remove the first top row. It's actually better formatted than the download was, which is something kind of interesting. So we're going to save it again, and we're going to save that as well. And you can see that we've basically now made two identical data sets, one pulled from CSV and another one pulled directly from the web with little to no programming work and any type of base level knowledge, just pasting a URL in. Now we're going to get to the R integration and the ggplot display based on this data set. So first thing first, if you don't have R, head over, go and Google it. Head to the R download CRAN library package site. I've also included the link in the details at the bottom if you're looking for a hyperlink to the download. Once you have downloaded the R engine, go ahead and click File, go over to Options, and you're going to be able to see that the Power BI engine automatically knows where you've installed R, which is fantastic, and it also knows which R version you are using. So once you've confirmed that, just go ahead and click OK, and at that point you'll be fully leveraging the R engine. And then of course we see the icon here to actually enable specific R scripts. Go ahead and click the script visuals, click Enable. I doubt that you'll have a lot of issues with your local security. It's really very similar to enabling macros inside of Excel. And we can see here we just pasted in a very simple R script that pulls in year stocks and bonds, but really is only leveraging the stocks and year codifier inside of here. I'm going to include 2 or 3 URLs with some great white papers to discuss and talk about different R libraries, especially ggplot and text mining, and hopefully another video to come. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.